All right. I'm here with Christian Wrangstål, head coach of the Seinäjoki Crocodiles. Christian, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you, man. Nice to be here.
That's awesome, man. We're gonna get right into it. First thing I want to ask was, you're new to Seinäjoki Crocodiles and Maple League this year. So, what was kind of the motivation or the reasoning that you decided to join the Crocodiles team this season? Like, what was kind of going through your mind when you talked to the management and things about becoming a new head coach?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I've been doing football for over 30 years. And I've been around in Europe, in Spain, and Norway, here in Sweden. So when this opportunity came up and start talking to Timo, I was just, to be honest, very flattered and honored to get the question. And if you want to do football in Europe, I think both Finland and the Crocodiles in Seinäjoki are a great place to be. So I'm super excited and also very, what do you say, like flattered to get this opportunity. So I will try to make the best of it.
That's awesome, man. So moving on, new season, new team, a lot of changing parts. But for you personally, coming into this new situation with the Crocodiles, obviously you've been in touch with the team and management and a few of the players probably. What exactly do you want to kind of get across this season? Like what is kind of your philosophy or things that you want to make sure that you bring an impact on the team?
That's maybe the toughest question to answer, and also my toughest job because I'm still learning. I maybe overestimated the similarities between Sweden and Finland. So when I talk with people, I understand there's some differences in culture and the way things are done. But I getting back to your question there, my strength is basically with the X's and O's, I think. And also, I've been doing this for a long time, so I also think that I have a good understanding of how you're maximizing your roster. What can you do if you have 5 hours together with a team? So how will you spend those 5 hours in the most effective way? So, but I'm hoping to bring, I mean, the strategic part and the X's and O's part, since I'm also the offensive coordinator into the team, and I'm that not saying that. I mean, they've been doing that good previous years, of course, but I spoke to Timo. They also said that they wanted to take that to the next level or step. So they've been riding the great running back there a lot. So hopefully, I will come in and do some other things off of that. So that's the plan.
Okay, that's awesome, man. Because I mean, I've been covering them for a few years now. Ever actually since Christian Powell's been on the team, I've been covering them like intensively. And one thing that we have learned from the Crocodiles is that even though he's kind of like a bell cow type running back, they've had a couple different offenses. They've had a couple different styles, and he's been able to contribute no matter what you do. So that's pretty cool that you're going to be able to come in there and have someone like him that you can rely on, but necessarily he can fit into whatever system you implement as well. So that's pretty cool to have fresh blood in Seinäjoki. My next question would be going into the season. I don't know how much you've like looked into, maybe last season or looking at the type of teams that the Crocodiles have been playing, but going into this season, what are a few things that you think that your team has to do so that they can be successful? What are some things that pretty much every week you're going to have to do this to, win a football game? What are a couple of those things?
Well, I think looking at a lot of film from last year, I think that you need to be maybe a little more uh, diverse, or how do you say that? When you being able to change week from to week, not
Yeah.
um being too predictable. I would say, and also. I mean, it's going to be a long season, right? It's going to be 12 games at least, and then the playoffs. So I also need to make sure that we use everybody on the roster in a good way. For example, going back to Christian there, which is a great player, and I think, I mean, you also need him fresh in August, September. So that's the one thing I think we need to be able to get the young guys going and get everybody to contribute their way. If it's a one drive, or if it's, I mean, whatever you can do to make everybody fresh at the end, it's going to be one thing that I'm going to focus on.
That's pretty cool. That actually leads to my next question. Looking at the roster from the Crocodiles, I know you haven't had the chance to like be there consistently with the guys yet at the time of this interview, but obviously you know who's on the team, you know what new signings you had, what guys you're bringing back, etc. Who are a couple guys you kind of expect to contribute heavily this season to you guys' success?
I was kind of hoping you would not ask that question, because I have basically still learning to pronounce the names and everything. And I tried to look at the film from last year and putting the names together, and from the camps we had this year. So, but I mean, there are a few really, really good players. As you said, you've been following them also. So um, I don't have like a perfect overall vision of all the guys and what they can do. So that's also one thing that I will really get into once I get there in a week or two. But
Yeah, no worries.
I also coached the Norwegian U17 national team, so I saw a lot of those guys the last 3 years when you played the Nordic Championships. So
Hmm.
and I know the Crocodiles have some really young, talented guys that come through there. So it seems that they have a good, also good junior program, and a lot of young guys
Yeah,
coming
I
up.
would say
So,
one
yeah,
of the best junior programs in recent history. I know some
yeah,
people from the Roosters and Royals are gonna say that's not true, but a lot of the roster that the Crocodiles have now, where there's kids between the ages of like 19 and 23, they
hmm,
all play juniors for the Crocodiles, and they
yeah,
ran through the juniors for U15, U17, U19, and then they started playing on the men's.
yeah,
So, I mean, you definitely have a really good young, talented group there, and we're excited to see some of them. We had a couple breakout guys last year from
yeah,
Crocodiles that kind of jumped onto the scene and started playing on the men's national team as well.
hmm,
One of my favorites, I'm just going to throw this out there, even though
yeah,
it's your interview, is Atu Tuoko. I think is how you say his name, the safety. That's my
yeah,
guy. I'm excited to see him play again this year.
yeah,
But moving on, last thing I'm going to ask you, Coach, and I'm going to let you get out of here. Like I said, not going to be long. Um, Going into this last season, Maple League season, uh, rules changed a little bit. There's going to be more imports allowed to play this year. A lot of teams have different players, different coaches, different personnel coming in, a lot of different storylines. But for you, coming into a different situation, what is something you're excited about seeing in the Maple League this season? Like, what aspect of the league is really exciting for you?
Well, I think it's been very competitive league. It seems like everybody can beat everybody basically, and I think that's
Hmm.
also proof of that being a good quality league. And we've been doing a lot of work with the recruiting. As you know, that takes a lot of time, and I mean, really want to compliment all the guys in the Crocodiles for. I mean, I think we have a great group of guys coming in now, but we also scouted some guys that went to other teams. So we lost some talent because you can only have five, but I mean that's a lot. So I mean I think it's going to be exciting to see a lot of quality players, U.S. imports and also other European imports. I mean, some went to the ELF, but I mean, I think we got some pretty good ones coming to Finland also this year. So that's going to, what I think, also raise the level of play in Finland. And again, it's going to be, I mean, 12 regular season games. So that's going to also show who's going to have the best imports. And of course, injuries is going to play into that. So probably, I mean, if you lose a key guy, you might, dip and then maybe have to bring in somebody else or whatever. But it seems like also the other teams also got some great talent, so that's going to be exciting. And I think it's just more fun and more exciting to play teams that have great talent.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, Coach Rungstall, thank you for the interview. good luck to you and the Crocodiles this season, man. And we'll be watching you here on the AFF podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.